fun. He thinks it looks great. It's like a cruise ship crashed into Saddam Hussein's house or something. Who would even want to go to a place like this? I mean, traffic's a nightmare. You have to drive around these big dumb statues. Everybody's walking around with balloons like they're the clowns from It. Nightclubs are full of lecherous old Americans groping belly dancers with their webbed frog hands and...
No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright. Golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza, number one. Trump Gaza shining bright. Golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done.
Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again. We'll do that. I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one. On day one, I will begin to reverse the disastrous effects of Biden's inflation. Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again.
Day one. It's a promise we hear in every election. On day one, we will end inflation, make America affordable again. But here we are, weeks later, and groceries still cost a fortune. Jimmy Kimmel jokes about Hooters going out of business. But behind the laughs is a real issue. Prices are high, businesses are struggling, and people feel the squeeze. The truth? No president can flip a switch and fix the economy overnight. So next time you hear day one, maybe give it a minute.
We're going to be doing something else that's going to be very good. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card, this is a gold card. We're going to be putting a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges plus. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country by buying this card. They'll be wealthy.
What a good idea.
Egg prices are high, businesses are struggling, and now Hooters might be going out of business. Jimmy Kimmel jokes about it, but behind the humor is a reality many Americans feel. Where will Florida eat? Is Waffle House enough? More importantly, what does it say about the economy when even Hooters is at risk? From inflation to unexpected revenue ideas, the government is always looking for solutions. But are they working? And when leaders make big promises about fixing it all, should we believe them? Maybe. But maybe we should also give it a minute. America, the land of the free, but lately, free comes with a price tag. Jimmy Kimmel jokes that our immigration system now works like a casino rewards program, and somehow it got even worse. $5 million. That's the cost of a new path to American citizenship. That's 83,000 months of rent, 1.6 million cartons of overpriced eggs, or just one golden ticket to the land of opportunity. Kimmel compares it to Trump's business model at Mar-a-Lago, selling exclusive memberships. But this time, the club isn't a golf course. It's an entire country. For centuries, people have fought, worked, and sacrificed everything for a chance at the American dream. Now, just write a check and you're in. While everyday Americans struggle to pay rent, afford groceries, and climb out of debt, the richest get a fast pass. And if citizenship is up for sale, what else is? America was built on opportunity, but when opportunity comes with a price tag, is it really freedom?
Can a Russian oligarch be eligible for a gold card?
Yeah, possibly. Hey, I know some Russian oligarchs that are very nice people. It's possible.
Yeah. Hey, I know some Russian oligarchs that are nice people. Let me tell you something. He may know oligarchs not as well as they know him.
Want to live the American dream? If you have $5 million, you might just get a golden ticket. And according to Donald Trump, even Russian oligarchs could qualify. I know some Russian oligarchs that are very nice people, he says. But as Jimmy Kimmel jokes, Trump may know them, but they definitely know him better. Selling citizenship to the highest bidder is one thing, but opening the doors to foreign billionaires with deep ties? That's a whole different game. And yet, that's not the only luxury experience Trump is planning. Kimmel calls it Gaza Lago nonsense, a bizarre new controversy that sounds like internet fiction. But this isn't some AI-generated deepfake. This was posted on the official social media account of the President of the United States. In a world where truth is getting harder to separate from fiction, one thing is clear: this isn't just politics anymore. This is a billionaire's America, where the rich get golden passports, foreign elites buy their way in, and the rest of us are left wondering, what comes next?
Donald is coming to set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza number one.
Did I just see men with beards and bikinis? Even Kim Jong-un would say, that's a little much. That's Jimmy Kimmel's reaction to a bizarre video promoting Trump's latest idea. Because if there's one thing Trump knows, it's branding himself. War, destruction, human suffering. None of that seems to register. What does? A shiny new real estate project with his name on it. While people in Gaza face unimaginable devastation, death, displacement, hostages still missing, Trump's vision isn't about rebuilding lives. It's about building hotels, luxury, beachfront, Trump-branded hotels. Kimmel jokes that the whole thing looks like a cruise ship crashed into Saddam Hussein's house. And the worst part? Trump doesn't just think this is a solution. He thinks it looks fun. But in a world torn apart by war, who exactly is supposed to vacation there? Who would even want to go to a place like this?
Traffic's a nightmare. You have to drive around these big dumb statues. Everybody's walking around with balloons like they're the clowns from It. Nightclubs are full of lecherous old Americans groping belly dancers with their webbed frog hands, and you got Elon shoveling hummus into his face. And there's sand at the pool and surrounded by fat old men. And with that said, I did like the music. It was kind of catchy. And
Traffic's a nightmare. Giant statues everywhere, and people walking around like clowns from It. Jimmy Kimmel paints a picture of Trump's so-called luxury vision, and it's not exactly paradise. Imagine nightclubs packed with loud old Americans, awkwardly groping belly dancers, while Elon Musk stuffs his face with hummus. Sand at the pool, fat old men everywhere. It's less of a resort and more of a fever dream. And yet, somehow, Kimmel admits the music was kind of catchy, but Trump's bizarre world doesn't stop there. Enter the Doge Master General, making an appearance at Trump's first cabinet meeting. The topic, a confusing email Musk sent to federal employees, demanding they report 5 things they did at work last week. The result? Mass confusion, wasted time, and, according to Kimmel, thousands of man-hours lost. But Trump, he loved it. Why? Because he saw it as a brilliant way to figure out which federal employees don't actually exist. Letters were sent out just to see if the recipients were real people. In Trump's America, luxury is weird, leadership is stranger, and reality, well, it's getting harder to recognize.
Letters were sent out to people just to find out if the people exist. Maybe that person doesn't exist. Maybe they don't exist. Maybe we're paying people that don't exist. A lot of people that didn't exist, I guess. Have a lot of people that don't exist. We're trying to figure out, do they exist? The people weren't there. They didn't exist.
he's searching for people who don't exist, as if email will do that. Listen, you can't find Melania, it doesn't mean she doesn't exist.
Trump is searching for people who don't exist through email, as if that's how it works. Jimmy Kimmel jokes that just because Melania isn't responding to Trump doesn't mean she doesn't exist. But while Trump is busy sending emails into the void, even some of his closest allies are starting to worry. His team's aggressive slash and burn approach to budget cuts is raising concerns, and even Elon Musk, yes, the same guy shoveling hummus at Trump's imaginary resort, admits that maybe this isn't the best idea. When even the biggest names in tech and politics start second-guessing their own plans, you have to wonder, how far does this experiment go before it all collapses?
I should say we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect, but when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly. So for example, with USAID, one of the things we accidentally canceled very briefly was Ebola, Ebola prevention. I think we all want Ebola prevention. So we restored the Ebola prevention immediately.
Oh, well, that's fine then. He only canceled our Ebola prevention for a couple of days. Calm down, everybody. That's not an excuse. Ask the doctor. As soon as I realized I unplugged my mother's life support to charge my iPhone, I immediately plugged it back in. You know, I mentioned there are...
Elon Musk admits, we will make mistakes. We won't be perfect, but when we make a mistake, we'll fix it very quickly. Sounds reasonable, until you hear what the mistake actually was. For a brief moment, Musk and his team accidentally canceled Ebola prevention funding. Yes, Ebola. But don't worry, they restored it immediately. Jimmy Kimmel isn't buying it. Oh, well, that's fine then. He only canceled Ebola prevention for a couple of days. Calm down, everybody. It's like unplugging your mother's life support to charge your phone and then plugging it back in. Whoops, no harm done. But while Musk shrugs off the blunder, there's tension behind closed doors. Some Trump cabinet officials, very privately, are getting frustrated with Musk's reckless approach. Yet when they're all together in a room and a reporter asks about it, silence, not a word. Because in Trump's inner circle, even when chaos is obvious, loyalty always comes first.
Had heard otherwise, and if you had heard anything about members of the cabinet who weren't happy with the way things were going.
Let the cabinet speak just for a second. Is anybody unhappy with Elon? If you are, we'll throw them out of here. Is anybody unhappy?
What an adorable group of eunuchs. Look at the... By the way, let's watch the end of the video again, because watch Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio might be the only semi-normal person. He's like, oh, one clap. Marco, my words, he will be the first one out.
When asked if anyone in Trump's cabinet was unhappy with how things were going, Trump had a simple solution. Let the cabinet speak. If anyone's unhappy, we'll throw them out. Classic Trump. And of course, nobody said a word. Jimmy Kimmel couldn't help but laugh, calling them an adorable group of eunuchs. But the real star of the moment? Marco Rubio. Kimmel points out that Rubio might be the only semi-normal person in the room. While the rest of the cabinet sits frozen in forced applause, Rubio hesitates, half clapping, looking around like he knows he's trapped. Mark my words, Kimmel jokes, he'll be the first one out, because that's how Trump operates, loyalty or exile. But what's even more predictable? The way he solves problems, by either creating new ones or fixing things that were never broken in the first place. A full month after California's wildfires, Trump is still rambling about sending water, acting like he just discovered the concept. While real crises go ignored, he stays busy fighting imaginary ones. And somehow, this is still the reality we're living in.
And by the way, the water is flowing in California. I hope you people have seen it. I'll get you some photographs, but it's a beautiful sight. It's like not reported, it's incredible, but California has a lot of water. That's going to take care of farmers. It's going to wetten up the land, and it's going to go all the way down to Los Angeles, where they have curfews on water.
That's right, we've got curfews on water.
According to Trump, California has curfews on water. Yes, you heard that right. All water must be in bed by 10 p.m. or else it's grounded, because apparently water has a bedtime now. Jimmy Kimmel jokes that if you don't live in Southern California, you might assume there's some tiny shred of truth to what Trump is saying. But no, there's not. There are no limits on water, no curfews, no secret bedtime for H2O. The only thing getting wettened, Kimmel says, is Trump's diaper. And honestly, if you had to picture something more ridiculous than a water curfew, well, that image might just be it.